think I need my jacket.
Choice is yours.
What do you
It
think?
might, I don't know. Either way, either way, it should be fine. Stand by. Yes, studio. I just saw your message. Sure, you could go ahead and do that. You could do that on the 819 number. All right, stand by. Let's go. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, the story of Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're live in the boardroom here at the Consulate General of Jamaica, 44 West Flagler Street in downtown Miami, Florida. And joining me is a gentleman I haven't seen in a little while. But he's been quite busy, and notwithstanding his workload, he always finds the time to at least share some of it with us, if even just a bit, and then he's off to the next engagement. He is Mr. R. Oliver Mayer, Jamaica's Consul General to Miami, Florida. And we're anxious to get an update from you, CG, as he's affectionately called. Good afternoon. How are you?
Very good, Dervan. Welcome again to South Florida. Always a pleasure to have you here. Good afternoon to your listeners. And it's always a great opportunity to share what's taking place here in the community and the activities of the consulate. So happy to give an update.
Yeah, I mean, what got me the other day, totally blindsided. I didn't hear anything about it until I was starting a couple Thursdays ago the set segment of Your Legal Corner with Daly Walker Huntington, looking at immigration matters, and then she starts by telling us about the tremendous amount of water and flooding in sections of South Florida. And I'm like, where was I? Where were you?
Well, I was stuck at some point here at the office, but there was a lot of water, and we had to be navigating very carefully. Lots of cars were stuck on the road. So this is one time where Jamaicans were definitely impacted by the weather. Last time, we had Hurricane Ian. We had different news reporters calling for updates, and I mean, most Jamaicans we spoke to were fine. Most Jamaicans this time with the rain was the highest level of rainfall we have had in Broward County. Were impacted in a significant way. Some persons said, I'm not going to work, schools were closed, and not major damage. We haven't heard of major damage, but certainly there was a lot of water on the road, and people definitely had to rearrange their schedules.
Mhm.
And it came out of the blue. I mean, and we also had some tornado watches as well. We had about 3 tornadoes. Driving home, I got about 3 alerts saying tornado is on this particular street, and so we had to be very careful heading home. And in the midst of it, unfortunately, there was a young man. There was a lady here in the community, Charmaine. She couldn't find her son in the midst of all the rain. Unfortunately, they later found him, his body. And so this evening, we're going to be standing with her just to recognize the life of her past son, 18-year-old Lee J, at the Viscara Park in Miramar. And, we mourned with her. And then last night I was at another Reggae upon the Grill where the owner there, her daughter also passed, a 22-year-old. And
Oh,
so we were there, just comforting together the community. And, in life, there is life and death. And we not only stand with our community when things are great, but also when times of mourning, we move together and bond and hold hands and say, "Hey, we're with you."
yeah. And so, well, that's my general sense of how much you value the warmth, the love, the affection, the respect that you've been getting ever since you took up this position.
Yeah,
What? Yes.
yeah. I give God thanks for it. I give the community thanks because since I've been here since 2018, I can tell you I've only received love and support right throughout the 13 states. And it's not because CG is no super great guy or anything like that. This is just a side of the diaspora that a lot of persons don't get to experience. Many a times we hear persons coming on the airwaves and they're quarreling about what's taking place in Jamaica and this is wrong and that's wrong. But sometimes it's a few persons and they can give the notion that the entire diaspora is militant and they're upset. And but many persons are found here in the diaspora are celebrating Jamaica,
Mhm.
celebrating our Jamaicanness. And if they do have their concerns, it's done out of love and it's done out of a passion for wanting a better Jamaica. And they have rallied around us at the consulate right throughout the 13 states. And whatever we need, they're there to support. And I want to publicly thank our Jamaican diaspora. I
Mhm.
love them and I cook food.
Hold it right there. We need to take a break, not to eat some cooked food. No, it's late in the day for that right now. But we need to take a break here on both sides of the story. Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Donovan Campbell says video is a bit blurry. You might want to check your device. Donovan Campbell looks crystal clear to me. Maybe you can tell us when we come back from this break. There's more after the break.
So this is broadcast on
Let me
Venus.
mute it.
Yeah.
Add mute. This one. Let's go, studio. 13 minutes to 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Kingston, Jamaica, which means that is 4:47 p.m. here in Miami, Florida. And we're continuing our conversation with Jamaica's Consul General here in Miami, Florida. Our
They will come and meet with us at the consulate, and they will have their own ideas and ask us to come and endorse it.
Okay.
But either way, we are part of the fundraising activities. And I give an example, just the alumni groups alone. I think we have collectively raised maybe 750,000 US dollars for the year.
Wow.
So I asked the group to put together their annual reports and give me an update, and that was the figure through Dr. Rupert Rudd, who kind of heads that organization. So the diaspora is giving back. I mean, this goes directly now to education and directly to their schools. But in terms of putting some tangible numbers, and there are several projects that don't even come through directly through us or through the system, like some open heart surgeries that were done early in the year from Memorial Hospital, which has been very supportive to us. A lot of these cases, the medical projects are taking place, and a lot of them emanate from right here in the southern United States. But getting back to the 5K, so this year on May 6th, again, this will be the fourth annual staging of our annual High Five 5K walk run. And the High Five was set up initially because we started the first one on June 5, and it's in 5 cities simultaneously. And the goal was to adopt 5 clinics. We have taken the 5 a step further to identify what the 5 stands for. So 1 is for healthy eating, right? So we're encouraging persons to be very careful of what we eat and intake and put in our God-given bodies. 2, exercise. We're promoting at least 30 minutes of exercise every day. 3, a positive mental attitude and giving gratitude. 4, philanthropy. We must give back. All of us have something. Even if if our wallet or purse empty, we can find something to give back. Our time, our love, a kind word, a kind deed. And then 5, enjoy life. We're put on earth to enjoy life too. You know, the Whalers have a lovely song that says, Jaja give us life, so let us live.
That's right.
Yeah, so we must live and enjoy life. So those are the 5 pillars of the high 5. And we're in 5 cities. We're in Miramar, one of the most populated cities of Jamaicans right across the United States and growing. Their 5 elected officials are all Jamaicans. Let that sink in for a while. Orlando, Central Florida, I want to recognize our newly appointed Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative, Mr. Peter Gracie, who he's just given late notice and he has rallied a star-studded team to pull together the 5K up there. So thank you so much, Peter. And Peter won his election he got over 740 votes. Just Peter alone. And down here in the southern United States, there was a hotly contested election. They're all big friends now, but over 1,800 votes were casted in the southern United States alone. So I've seen persons talk about nobody voted, but no, you can't say that. These are people who worked hard to get their votes out, and Peter alone got 740 votes. These are people who took their time to go and vote. So big up to Peter Gracie, and he's leading the charge in Orlando. Then we have Atlanta. Atlanta is going to be the second largest race. I want to thank the Atlanta Jamaica Association, Jason Walker, my good friend Tony Gray.
Oh, Tony Gray, haven't seen him in a while.
He's man. They are pulling together the race there. Then Houston, the Houston Association, the Jamaica Houston Association, Nikki and team. And then we go over to Phoenix, Arizona. And big up now to Pauline Ford, who was indicated that she'll be joining in the race to make it 5+1. So I have 6 cities that will be joining. Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. So 5 cities will join. It's May 6th. The race happens simultaneously. Let that sink in again. Simultaneously. These communities have gathered together to work together for one goal, to help to support our clinics in Jamaica. All right, we have adopted 5 clinics, 2 in St. Catherine, 1 in Portland, 1 in St. Mary, and 1 in St. Anne. We have 2 more handover sessions to do. But it's a 3-year commitment with the Adopt a Clinic program, $1 million each year.
Right.
So all the funds that we raise from this 5K go towards maintaining the clinics. We keep back a little seed money for the next year to just ensure that we have something to start with. But I want to thank all the sponsors that have come on board. We were a little worried that we would have been behind last year's target, but I'm told that we are just edging over. And as we are doing this interview, one company from Jamaica has reached out to say, send us a proposal. So I said, yes. So we're happy for that. And persons can donate. You can go on the website, Jamaica, HI5krun.com. You can donate. You can be a part of the virtual run from anywhere around the world and be a part of this. And or you could just register somebody. You could register and just put somebody who is in the community, perhaps cannot afford to be a part of it. Although it's very affordable. It's $35 now in Miramar. In the other races, it's $25. We've given them a little discount because they started up a little later. And again, once we cover the cost to put on the race, all the proceeds go towards the Adopt a Clinic program. So very exciting program, and we're happy that it's continuing to get bigger and better each year. I want to thank you, Dervan. You have been there with us from the first year where we're just a trial thing, right? and supported it, and now it's at a level now that people look forward to it. We have some race ambassadors who are going to be there. Papa San will be one, you know. I-Octane, one of the biggest names come out of Jamaica. These two names will be there, and you know they will have to do a tune or two. Though that's not part of the agreement, you know they're going to something, right? And then we have Camila McDonald, who is well known across the diaspora for being a health expert. And she was, when I started to exercise in 2011 in Jamaica, she was my first coach. And under her tutelage, I was able to win the 5K for my company at the time, Jamaica Broilers, when I was there. So big up to Camila McDonald. She'll be coming up here as one of the race directors. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. And in all of this, you still find time to be, was it the chair or the convener, the diplomatic, the dean
Yeah.
of the diplomatic corps?
Yeah. You know, we're happy that we took the leadership in pulling the group back together. And we will have a rotational leadership program. We want to give other persons an opportunity to hold the chair, but we're the first. I'm the current dean of the group. And, you know, we have found that as a group, we have been able to achieve a lot, especially when it comes to hurricane relief. We work closely with a group called GEM. And so if any one of the islands are impacted, we reach out to support each other. Belize was recently impacted, and thank you to one of our members, Ambassador Bustani. We reached out to a cruise line, and we were able to provide support to Belize in the tune of, you know, $100,000 US dollars, right? That doesn't happen every day, right? So that cruise line was particularly generous, but generally speaking, though, we are able to get, you know, items down to Jamaica, relief items, and we work together with that. And anything that impacts us here in the community, we work together to have those issues resolved. And it's about a 12-member team. We meet on a monthly basis, and we get along with each other. It's a good vibe, good energy, and we look to support each other as fellow CGs.
Yeah, very good. So, what kind of a weekend is this for you? Another hectic?
Well, my wife sent me a WhatsApp to remind me that our daughter's prom night on Saturday. So it's date night. She will send me the note, right? So she don't want you about no event, right? Saturday night. So the date night is booked. The Jamaica Saturday morning, when we do our exercise workout, and I'm happy that you will be there with us tomorrow. We will be having NBC will be coming by to do a feature on us. Papa San will be joining us for exercise. After that, I go and show my face as the chairman at the Jamaica Women of Florida. And there are a couple other events at the same event you're going to. I just saw the invitation there, so I will pop in there as well. But all roads lead to date night on Saturday night. But well, one road, my road lead there to. I'll spend time with the wife on Saturday night while my daughter goes to prom night. So Saturday, and then so this weekend, a lot of preparation will be in place for next week and putting things together now for the 5K, which is a major activity. I want to recognize those companies. Jampro will be coming up, having a booth. I think the Jamaica Stock Exchange will be there having a booth. Because we're at the one event, and they will be offering complimentary coffee, courtesy of Salada, to all participants who promote, you know, Jamaican products or Jamaican farmers. Throughout the race, we will have different sections of the race. We'll have different local sound systems playing music, reggae music, just to promote our reggae music as well, which no need no promotion, right? And then at the end of it, of course, we will have some Jamaican refreshments for all persons who participate. And yeah, man, it promises to be a good vibe and good energy. And we have an after show. And we already have Ed Robinson who has confirmed, and Alicat who has confirmed. And of course, we know Papa San will bust a tune, and I-Octane will bust a tune. So we're looking forward to having a great after show as well.
Mhm. Yes, and in all of that, you still you still have to take on other responsibilities, other duties, uh, in terms of trade, possibly,
Yes.
and working alongside Jam Pro, etc. So I mean, every time I think about it, I feel a sense of fatigue.
Yes, well, yeah, sometimes when I'm saying it sounds tiring, but I love variety, and each activity energizes me.
Mhm,
We're going to be hosting Minister Aubin Hill later on in the month. Oh,
mhm,
by the way, our minister will be joining us for the 5K run. Senator Honorable Camilla Johnson Smith. We're going to be having Minister Aubin Hill carrying up a delegation to South Florida and Atlanta
mhm,
later on in the month. And so we'll arrange a number of engagements for them to meet with companies here, especially Jamaican companies. We
mhm,
have one Jamaican company who was able to land a major deal with a large distributor and is looking for additional products from Jamaica. So here's an opportunity for extra export. He will talk about some of the challenges he's having and how Jamaica can support him. We have been able to, and he will also visit a company in Atlanta. We were able from the consulate to facilitate them getting some local BAMIs for trade, and that has been continuing to grow. So we'll have allow the minister to meet with some of these companies that we have been working with over time
mhm.
to see how we can facilitate more export and support our Jamaicans here in the community and facilitate more investment and trade.
Right, and there's no better time than now
That's right.
at
That's
the
right.
rate at which we have been going so far. Wherever those opportunities raise their head, we shouldn't waste any time. Just roll with it.
Roll with it. And I know our stock market. I know some of the values have come down, and that
Mhm.
just means more affordable, more values on our stock exchange market. And when interest rates go up, prices of stocks go down. But it's
Mhm.
a good time to get in. And if you look at what's been happening in our Jamaican stock market, a lot of our local companies have been posting excellent results.
Mhm.
I follow the market actively and I report on it. I'm an active investor, and I believe that it's always a good avenue for Jamaicans to own a piece of Jamaica with and the stock market is always a very easy way to speak to a licensed broker
Mhm.
in Jamaica. So you can visit the Jamaica Stock Exchange. All the information is there are brokerages that are available for you to interact with. But from the comfort of my office
Mhm.
during my lunchtime, I'm able to buy stocks or sell stocks
Mhm.
and just enjoy commerce. So Jamaica is getting easier to do business with. We
Yeah,
encourage persons to get involved and um, to buy a piece of the rock.
indeed. Well, we want to thank you very much for the work that you continue to do, Consul General Mayor. Your stick-to-itiveness and your somebody rephrased one of those terms for me some time ago. I'm trying to remember it now, but maybe
It will
in the
come back,
next
but it will come
interview.
back.
In the
But
next interview,
if I
yes,
may, in closing, just I want
yes.
to thank the team here at the consulate.
Mhm.
We have a 16-member team. They work very hard, and I want to salute them for the work that they do. And I have to always big up our Jamaican community here in all the 13 states. Thank them for their love and support for Jamaica. The half has never been told about what they continue to do every day to support Jamaica land we love. And to all the listeners, let us continue to support this gentleman here. He's been one of the biggest supporters and advocates for all things positive for Jamaica. And Durvan said in front of you and behind your back, you are a fine example of what every Jamaican ambassador should be, purporting the good things that are taking place in our lovely Jamaica, so that we can continue to grow from strength to strength. So big up, my friend. Thank you for always being here for us and supporting our activities.
And what a way to tell me to end this interview now. I'm kidding. It's all good. Always a pleasure. Consul General Mayor. Thank you so much once again for all you continue to do in service to Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. So you're going to get a nap now, right?
Well, not quite, not quite. We do, as I mentioned before, later tonight. There's going to be a
Oh
event for
yes, oh yes.
the young man who
Who
passed.
passed?
9 o'clock. They'll be posting some balloons. I'll head there first and then head home and do some family stuff. But it's part of what we do. We're here to show support to the community, not just in good times, but in times when they need us the most to just hold their hands.
Yes. Thank you very much, listeners. You've been listening to Jamaica's Consul General in Miami, Florida, with responsibility for 13 states, who is also the Dean of the Consular Corps here in the
Yes, for
it
the
covers
southern
for the southern
United
United States.
States.
Right, right. All right. Thank you very much, Consul General. All the
Yes.
best.
All the best to you too, and big up to all our listeners. Love you. Like cook food.
Thank you very much. Oops, look at the time. 4:06 on Power 106. Let's clear those commercials and come back.
Yes, sir.
4:07 on Power 106. We're good to go.
All right.
Thank you very Let's go, studio. Que ahora es en español, son las 4:10. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:10. Ciencia tidiane su diane sure fen. 10 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Kingston, Jamaica, which means it's 5:10 p.m. here in Miami, Florida. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, coming to you live from the boardroom of Jamaica's Consulate General here in Miami, Florida. It's another busy weekend in the Jamaican diaspora in the southern United States. Some 13 states are under the jurisdiction, in a manner of speaking, of Jamaica's Consul General. And we are looking forward to continuing the dialogue and moving the discussion forward, because by now we know exactly what needs to be done and we should just get it done. How about that? Natalie Winter says something is wrong with Jamaica. Why Jamaicans can't make it in Jamaica? But Jamaicans seem to excel in the amazing America, doing anything and not here. Jamaica is still a nice place to live, work, and do business, says Natalie Winter. Thanks for your message, Natalie. Velta Wilson says, hey, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon, Velta Wilson. Good to hear from you. Joan Richardson in Bermuda says, good day, Sir D. And Mr. Oliver Mayer, can we, the Jamaican Association, join as well? Well, there's a positive response there. We'll have to share that information with the Consul General in case he has moved on to other things and is not within earshot of the radio right now or some other device. Joan Richardson of the Jamaican Association Bermuda, wondering out loud if her association can join in as well. I'm not sure if that has to do with the 5K, the upcoming 5K, or the Adopter Clinic program, but one of those, no doubt. And we will hear more, all things being well, tomorrow morning on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online as we connect with members on the ground, members of the Jamaican Diaspora here in South Florida. So the engagement continues and we are doing our best. Donovan Campbell says, good day, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. To you too, Donovan Campbell. Good to have you online. He says, I hope you have a wonderful time in Florida. Thank you, Donovan. He says, good afternoon to the Consul General and indeed the Consulate General. Thanks for your continuous support for our country, Jamaica. And then he says, good afternoon to the Consul General, or do you mean Consulate General, or both? Donovan Campbell. Thanks for your continuous support to our country, Jamaica. It's a pleasure to see you, Donovan says. And he has some kind words to share on this side as well. Thank you very much, Donovan. All the very best, and keep those comments coming as we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And we want to encourage you, especially parents and their children, to check out the initiative known as Operation Stop Cyber Harassment. They just had an online conference a couple of days ago, in fact, and it's an opportunity for some of these young people to earn community service hours online. So there are various dimensions to these sessions, parent and teen breakout rooms, hearing from experts and receiving resources from law enforcement, cybersecurity, information technology, mental health, community advocacy, middle and high school resources, and free resource guide. A free resource guide is included. Every child deserves the world, says this message on the flyer. Bringing the globe. Online certificate courses also available. And we're seeing some of the supporting organizations, institutions, and corporations. The Sheriff's Office, Broward County. Bringing the Globe. Neighbors for Neighbors. Speaks Rights. And there's also N4N celebrating 30 years. And there's a picture of Cairo Eubanks, founder and advocate. If you need more information, you can go to bringingtheglobe.com. Bringingtheglobe.com. And you will also be given some reading material, courses for teens 13 to 18 years old, the innovative online courses, empowerment, access, opportunity, creating and telling your story, and so on and so forth. It's a lot. And generally, it's a full suite of offerings, online courses, as we said, live presentation, digital resources, webinars, conferences, and so on. So those are some of the other areas that are being covered by essentially volunteers in these communities. Thank you very much for sharing, and all the very best once again to Cairo Eubanks. Continuing with more here on the program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And still taking your calls on 876-922-4112 In fact, I believe we have a terrible backlog of messages right now based on what we saw before the start of the program and what we are seeing right now with respect to those who have been sending messages. Let's see if we can clear some of these messages. Oops, I think we're over time. Let's go to the break. (19 minutes past 4:00). Let's go, studio. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:20. ¿Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:20. 现在7点了，4:20分. 20 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here, back home in Jamaica. Here in Miami, Florida, it's 20 minutes past 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Good afternoon to all parents and guardians tuned in. Good afternoon to all the schoolers who are tuned in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, well, let's ask the children, have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Those of you preparing for CSEC and CAPE exams, we hope you get the results that you work for. Nothing more, nothing less. And as we always say, young people, even when school is out, homework is always in, because homework is about preparation. And proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And just a couple of notable items in the news coming to our attention. Russia's Air Force accidentally bombs own city of Belgorod. Russia's military acknowledged that a bomb accidentally dropped by one of its warplanes caused a powerful blast in a Russian city not far from Ukraine's border, injuring 2 and scaring local residents. Oh dear. Prosecutors dismiss Alec Baldwin charge, citing new evidence. Prosecutors have formally dismissed an involuntary manslaughter charge against Alec Baldwin in the fatal 2021 shooting of a cinematographer on the set of the Western film Rust. And Guyanese women held with cocaine at airport get 10 months in prison. Man accused of shooting 6-year-old neighbor. Parents arrested in Florida. And lawyer granted leave to challenge General Legal Counsel ruling before Privy Council. 5 men listed as wanted by Kingston Central Police, and Singapore to resume executions after 6-month break. Let's break away from the trending news stories on the Gleaner's website, jamaica-gleaner.com, and have a word with a gentleman who has been playing his part in the development of Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. He's treasurer of the Jamaica United Relief Association, JURA. Len Johnson, good afternoon to you. How are you? I am fine, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us here on both sides of the story. How old is Jura now? And how so? Give us a little more bone on the meat, or meat on the bone. I see. And of all the areas that you've been covering in your philanthropic efforts, are there particular initiatives that, when you reflect on their implementation and results, you feel a sense of pride and fulfillment?
Work on some services like the inner city boys group, and like the satisfaction comes, after putting in all this work and raising all the funds and getting the things to these people. When you look back and you see a smile on the kids' face, like recently, I think it was back in last year, we donated some tablets when kids were locked home from probably COVID, and they couldn't go to school. They had to do their homework. A lot of them did not have computers or tablets to work on. So we kind of put together something very quickly, and we're able to get some tablets out to the kids. And as I say, that's where the satisfaction comes in, when the kid looks at it and you see that they are happy. They feel that you've done a great job.
Yes. And do you partner with other organizations from time to time, or has Jura been pretty much going it alone as an organization?
Well, I say for the most part, we've been working, as a sole organization, doing the things that we believe in. And but yes, we have worked with other organizations. For example, there's the Miami, the Jamaican Consulate in Miami. We work very closely with them. We have worked with other organizations that represent their own countries in the Caribbean. And we have also worked with some local organizations who do feed the poor, and Jura is always a part of the local community as well.
And to tell us in terms of projects, programs, initiatives, fundraisers to come for the rest of this year?
Well, what we have from the time we started, we have this special event. Like, for example, this fundraising that took place for after the hurricane that got contained a load of supplies and materials quickly as we could to Jamaica. But then we have our annual Independence Gala, which is right around Independence time each year. That's one of our big functions. And we have a great support from local businesses. We have support from not just Jamaicans, but friends of Jamaica who support us. For this year, right now, we have an upcoming event, which is our annual reggae jazz event. And this is the sixth year we're having this. Prior to this, we had what is called a tea party. We have seen that our cultural shift. The tea party is no longer relevant, so we started having the reggae jazz event, which has a good support. And right now we are appealing to our supporters because we kind of had a setback due to COVID. We didn't have any event last year, and our event this year is planned for April 30th. Unfortunately, we have had some setbacks with the recent flooding here in central Berwyn, where our venue, the facility was destroyed, and so we are up and around trying to find a location that is suitable. But at the same time, we may need to reset the date for that event. But right now, we're still looking at our April 30th event and trying to find a suitable accommodation.
Well, we hope you find such an area sooner than later, because there's obviously work to be done. And as an organization, you've already achieved a lot, and no doubt there's more to come. We want to salute you and encourage those members of the diaspora tuned in to take a note of the organizations like Jura doing great work. And if it is that you don't have an organization of your own that you support, here's an opportunity to support an organization that has been tried, tested, and proven. We thank you very much, Len Johnson, for all you continue to do, and we wish you all the very best.
I thank you, sir, and I thank you for giving us this exposure. And as we're appealing to everyone to reach out, because our projects are not self-serving, they go to very people who are in need of our people, Jamaicans in Jamaica and Jamaicans here as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. All the best. Take care. Len Johnson, Treasurer of Jamaica United Relief Association, Jura, as we learn more of the work of the organization. Let's continue with more after the break.
The time is now
4:33 on Power 106. That's Jamaica time, which is 5:33 p.m. here in Miami, Florida.
The College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, continues to play its part in revolutionizing Jamaica's productive and education sectors for the demands of the 21st century. Learn more about CASE's philosophy, programs, and services in a special feature during Farm Talk with Alvin McKenzie every second Monday at 6:18 a.m. on Power 106 FM. The feature is brought to you by the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, Pasley Gardens, Portland. That's a special feature showcasing the College of Agriculture and Education, CASE, every second Monday at 6:18 a.m. during Farm Talk with Alvin McKenzie right here on Power 106 FM.
It's the latest development set to spice up Jamaica's real estate market. It's the Suncoast Beach Club. This development boasts modern townhouses and duplexes in 12 miles Wolfville Bay in St. Thomas, just 15 miles away from Kingston. Power 106 FM will dish all the details during a live broadcast from the Suncoast Beach Club Open House this Saturday, April 22, starting at 10:30 a.m. This broadcast is brought to you by Valerie Levy and Associates. That's a live broadcast from the Suncoast Beach Club Open House in Bull Bay, St. Thomas, this Saturday, April 22, live on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Let's go, studio. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:26. ¿Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:26. 现在几点了？5点加25分。25 minutes. It started out at 26. It's now 25 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon in Kingston, Jamaica, which means it's 5:35 p.m. here in Miami, Florida. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 411-225. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us on WhatsApp as well. That number is 876-365-3346. Let's clear the backlog, the tremendous backlog of messages right now. Let's see. This one says also, have they increased the... Hi, Mr. Malcolm. An increase was finally granted under the NIS after all the years of the pensioners pleading for an upward adjustment. They said the increase is effective April 1, but there was no increase included in my amount sent to the bank April 14. What is up? I totally agree. Mr. Samuda is missing in action in respect of several issues in his ministry. It is time that ministry gets a minister who performs. This is from Angie in Kingston. Thank you very much, Angie in Kingston, for your message. Also, have they increased the benefits paid under the NI Gold Health Plan? What is paid is scandalous. And this is where perhaps I'm not sure if they still do the features, but the Ministry of Labor and Social Security usually has these infomercials in seeking to better advise, inform, and otherwise prepare their clients, their pensioners. But they seem to have taken a break from that for the time being, but it is necessary, it is needed, and it's something the Ministry of Labor and Social Security might want to look at and make some adjustments accordingly. RM says, good afternoon, Sir D. Yes, I'm tuned in. I wonder if you could ask Mr. Accountant Neville to help us with the correction or with this concern. What impact, be it negative or positive, is the widespread demand for the US dollar when doing business in Jamaica having on the Jamaican? What impact is it having on the Jamaican dollar? I was having dialogue with my uncle just a while ago on this matter, at which point he informed me that only yesterday he saw a fellow selling breadfruit out of a bag on the side of the road. This fellow requested to be paid in US dollars. How is our Jamaican dollar supposed to gain any strength when the man on the roadside does not wish to be paid in our own dollars? Should the powers that be not be addressing this matter? I think this is long overdue. I think this would serve the Jamaican public much better than the Brexit situation that is about to happen with this republic state that they are shoving down the throat of the Jamaican people. And what would Mr. Lloyd do when he does not have the monarchy to complain about? P.S. Let me say I do benefit from the exchange rates. Perhaps they should be pushing to change over to the US and get rid of the Jamaican dollar, says RM in Toronto, Canada. Here's one from Uriel Lewis Jackson from, this is Jax from Jacksonville, I believe. Good afternoon, Durban. Every day I hear people lambasting Labor Minister Carl Samuda. My question, does Samuda have a boss? Samuda is taking his instructions from his boss, Andrew Holness from Jax in Jacksonville. And then he sends us another message. He says, I was in one of the banks in Port Maria about 8 years ago, and I heard the distinct voice of Miss Mervis. She was talking to the entire bank customers. I went over and met with her from Jax in Jacksonville. Spider says, Mr. Malcolm, I would like you to help us. I would like you to help we who have a pickup and can't drive in peace on the road. The jacket and the people, something is missing. As nothing You know how much of my friends' business mash up because of green plate. Some just get fed up and dash in the towel. Does the government think what is taking place is okay? Spider. It's a matter that should be brought before the committee involved in overhauling the Road Traffic Act. I believe that's where it should be properly placed. Let's see. Did we read this one already? If I can offer a good day, Dervan, please give a sound that getting through to Heart NSTA is a pain. Up to this morning, I dialed 876-929-3410. The phone rang, the recording played, and all now I don't get through to Heart. Dervan, this is no joke. I came home from work to call to find out if they can offer this lady a job. She did the level 2 in housekeeping and crying to me to get a job for her. From last week, I've been trying to get through the entity and all now. Heart is not the entity in the 90s. I hear the announcement on the radio and I'm not hopeful. You go on the website, you don't know where to start. Durban, the country needs skilled labor. We need to produce to earn. So many citizens are turned off from the poor service, including me. Please wake them up, says this message. That's Arlene. Thank you for your message, Arlene. This one says, good evening, Durban. Please look at this flow bill. Why I have to pay GCT twice. Please find out. I thought that matter had already been dealt with. Perhaps need to get somebody from Flow to explain that scenario. Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says Durban, Miss Mervis doesn't seem to recall when her picture was taken. What you could do is to forward the picture to her WhatsApp phone and see if she can recall. Salah from Kingston. Then he sends us a rejoinder. He says, but Durban, how are we going to be sitting at the table when you're not invited? I don't want politicians to be telling me how I'm to vote. Having a ceremonial president is not going to be different from what we have as government right now. I think that the people need to vote for a president like that of the United States. Don't want a president and a prime minister. That would be money wasting. Salah from Kingston. And here's a message from Frank Lawrence. He says, greetings, Brother Durvan. On April 20th, my 90th birthday, with God's help, I will continue to write not only my own history, but that of my community. History is like driving a car along the road, even though you glance through the rear view and side mirrors frequently. It is important that you keep your eyes on the road and your hands firmly on the steering wheel of life. Psalm 91:16. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Frank Lawrence. Althea Mackenzie says, good evening, Durban. Hi, Althea. She says, tomorrow, as in, that was yesterday. Oops, I missed it. Tomorrow is my mother's birthday. Can you please send the following greeting for me? Thanks in advance. Happy birthday. Listen up, listeners. It's a birthday message for Althea Mackenzie's mom, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. And Althea writes, happy birthday to Patricia Tomlin, Miss Jem, the mother of Althea Mackenzie, Power 106 FM, who celebrates her birthday today. Lots of love and blessings coming from children, Althea, Osborne, and Oswin, grandchildren, brothers and sisters, nieces, nephews, and her entire band of friends. We hope at least one is listening. Thank you very much. You deserve all that and so much more, Althea, and your mom as well. Well done.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Come to Stewart's Hardware 2-day spring super sale. Friday, April 28th and Saturday, April 29th. 2 days filled with super discounts. Get all the hardware, houseware, plants, and lots more of all you've always wanted at super sweet prices. You simply can't afford to miss Stewart's Hardware Spring Sale. That's April 28th and 29th. There'll be fantastic savings just for you. Stewart's Hardware and Home Center. Building.
Let's go studio. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 13. Tien sai, ti dien le, si dien, wu dien, cha, shi san fen. 13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon in Kingston, Jamaica, which means it's 13 minutes to 6 o'clock here in Miami, Florida, and we see a couple of flyers, e-flyers online from Dwight Peters of Saint International. Looks like they're having a big event on Sunday. Get your tickets at AC Hotels Marriott, 38 to 42 Lady Musgrave Road, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's about the Saint International avant-garde designer of the year, fashion face of the Caribbean as well. It's all happening. Dwight Peters is doing what he does best. And also, there are so many messages to go through. We're trying our best to take as many of them as possible. Barry, we see you. Thank you very much for your message. This one says, good afternoon. Did you see today's Gleaner letter to the editor article by St. George's College students Matthew Lonely? Pure facts. Check it out. And this one from Donna. Good afternoon, Durban. This is Donna. This is for the immigration lawyer. All right, let's save that one for next week. All things being well. David Crossburn also has something to say. Good afternoon, Durban. Kindly be advised that I dispatched the info on the victim statement 5:05 p.m. yesterday. Thank you, Mr. Crossburn. And what is Richard saying? Richard says, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon, sir. What is the advantage of or disadvantage in having a figurehead president? Richard, the time is right for that kind of discussion, and I would humbly suggest that you put your position in writing. After all, it's an opportunity for the citizens to demonstrate the power that they have in their hands. The only way to prove that you have power is by using it. Using it. All right. Thank you very much, Richard, for your message. Which still trying to clear these messages. Rico, results of last night, evening matches. Oh, that's football. Franklin McDonald in Guelph, Canada, has sent us a lot of reading material. We have a lot of reading to do this weekend. Greetings, Durban. Just a reminder that the Caribbean Ment Organization is headed by a Jamaican scientist, Arlene, and something is missing there. Also, all right, we still have to make a call, so we're going to do that in a moment. as we try to fit in as much as we can here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Hello to Calvin in North York, Ontario, Canada. Miss June in Norway, in Oslo, Norway. Good to have you online. She says, listening as always, me and my granddaughter. She says, I'm very proud of you as a Jamaican. We need many more people like you. You're very kind. Miss June H. Morgan in Birmingham says, hi, Durvan. Good day. I was listening yesterday to your program when this gentleman, I think from the USA, saying that relatives and friends kept asking for money and not putting it to good use. But what I can't understand is why some of Jamaica's younger people kept having children when they couldn't afford to take care of them. Instead, they constantly asking for money and be a burden on others. Why are they not listening to your program to get some insight on how to educate and better themselves? They should first get a good education, then a job, get stabilized before they start having children who they can't take care of, and stop being a burden to others. H. Morgan in Birmingham. Well, there are different circumstances which result in what continues to unfold and what has been unfolding for some time in terms of poverty and related matters. Uh, we can try to change some of what has happened to some of our people, but it's going to take cash to care, notwithstanding the other programs and initiatives in terms of personal development, social development, etc. But we still have to reach out and touch, as the song says. Yes, some of us have made mistakes over the years, but people are not beyond redemption. Global Chaplain Alliance being promoted once again. Cuban in Georgia, as usual, has a lot to say. And we're trying to come to today's messages, a whole lot of messages. Sir, dancing up a Stanley and the Turbine hit. This song cannot die, Sir Malcolm. Well put together. Sir, this song reminds when Jamaica was good, no violence, nowhere. You would walk from Kingston Gardens to Mountain View and don't have to look behind you. Oh boy, how I miss those days, says Cuban in Georgia. And that's hardly a fraction of the lengthy messages that he sent us. But that's as much as we're able to get through. Cuban in Georgia, sorry about that, but thank you for your messages. And keep them flowing. Let's see now if we can. We wanted to reconnect. Are we able to at this stage? With Monique Blake Roswell. Let's see if she's on the line. Monique Blake Roswell, are you there? No, we're not hearing her. So I take it that she hasn't been able to rejoin us. Sorry about that. Will we be seeing you in the park tomorrow morning, Monique Blake Roswell, for the usual training session in preparation for the High Five 5K run walk, which is scheduled for the 6th of May. All right, let's see if we'll be able to get an update in the morning on the Jamaican Diaspora live online. But as of now, we're getting closer and closer to closing out today's edition of the program. We can't thank enough the team here at the Consulate General of Jamaica, 44 West Flagler Street in downtown Miami, Florida. We all led, of course, by Consul General Oliver Mayer, Jamaica's Consul General in Miami, Florida. So we thank the members of the team as usual, and a couple of familiar faces I've seen, or one in particular who was a pleasant surprise. Not well, if you know, you know, but it's amazing. It's amazing how time flies, and when we look back at some of the people who have touched our lives or have impacted us, and where they are now, and how they have impacted us and continue to impact us. So it is. Thank you very much to the members of the Jamaican diaspora here in South Florida, in particular, within the 13 states. We want to encourage you to continue to play your part in not only your personal, professional, and family development, but the broader community of members of the diaspora in the communities of the Jamaican diaspora here in South Florida. We'd like to thank all our guests, those who have managed to spare some time to talk with us. We thank them very much. And we thank you, our faithful listeners and viewers all over the globe, for making it both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. All things being well, both sides of the story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that all things being well, we'll be broadcasting early in the morning on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. We'll perhaps start on the outside and then move inside in Miramar Park. Looking forward to that. And we'll see. I hope, did I remember to bring my track shoes? I don't remember. I need to check my luggage. So thank you very much, everyone at home and abroad. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of both sides of the story. As we said, all things being well, both sides of the story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. Before that, we have some duties in the morning on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online, focusing on Jamaicans and their work here in South Florida. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now 5 o'clock. News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.
Bye.